This is the second video of two, and this video will talk about how to actually kolrose. Now that you've got your knife handle shaped and to the design that you want it, then you're going to actually start kolrosing. And so what we're going to do is, first of all, you have to choose a fine-grained wood that can be smoothed out fairly well. I like to use poplar or ash or willow for this. I use wood from a cabinet shop that they just get rid of, but you can also go and use any of your trees. Softwoods are not super great to use, and oak is also not good. Maple, you can use it, but it's really hardwood. So I kind of like some of the softer hardwoods, like I said, like poplar, ash, or willow. And so you take and make a smooth surface, and what you've got in the kit is there's going to be at least one smooth surface. This one is kind of rough here, so you'd want to use this side to kolrose on. And then if it's not smooth enough, you can always sand it with sandpaper. One of the things that you're going to provide too is a spoon, and you can do what's called burnishing, where you put this on a surface and you use your spoon to press down on the surface of the wood, and that presses the grains together and makes it a lot more smooth. And so even just doing that little bit made this a lot more smooth than here. And then after you use the sandpaper and use the spoon, then what you want to do is shape the item. And so earlier I took a piece of wood and I shaped this. It's just roughed out right now. And you shape the item to whatever you want. And if you're doing an addle or a spoon or a bowl, then of course you get that done. Get it smoothed out, and then you can take a pencil and draw a design on here. And I didn't draw a design, I just created a design. And if you can do that, that's great. Most people, it helps initially to start drawing a design. And then after you have the design drawn on there, then you use this kolrosing knife to press in, and you don't want to press really hard. All you need to do is just go below the surface just a little bit. You're not even really trying to cut the grains, but kind of trying to spread the grains out. And then you just use this knife to make the cuts. Sometimes when you're making some smaller cuts that are pretty fine and precise, you want to be able to hold your piece down and then put your thumb behind the knife like this and just push it a little bit, and you can make waves or circles and different designs that way too. So you can either push or pull it towards you or push it away from you, and if you're pushing it away, you want to kind of push like this. After you get your design on, and if you have pencil on there, then you erase the pencil lines so that your wood comes out kind of like this. You can't really see the design. And then one of the other things you provide is mineral oil. Now, if you're going to use something like a bowl or a spoon, you want food grade mineral oil. I just went to the dollar store and I couldn't find any others. They were bought out, but I got this baby oil from the dollar store. It has a little fragrance in it. So what you want to do is just put a little mineral oil on there. And you want to spread that out. Rub it around and work it into those little cuts, or where you spread that grain out just a little bit. So once you get it kind of worked into there, let me go grab a paper towel. Then I'm going to put this on here to kind of catch some of this coffee. Now this is coffee that I also bought at the dollar store. And then I put it in our blender and ground it up really a lot. Made it into a fine powder. And You can also use cinnamon or any other powder. Now, you'll notice that I'm also using light color wood. And when I do that, then of course this dark is going to stand out quite a bit. Then I just take this coffee and I grind it in to rub it into here. You don't need a whole lot. I think I kind of overdid it here, but it's all right. Back and forth every way. And you take a paper towel, and you rub it off. Now, the smoother the surface is, it's the less you're going to have brown stick to everywhere on the surface. It's going to still stick and stain a little bit, but then what you can do to even clear that off a little bit more, put a little bit more mineral oil on here, rub that in. And I'm going to get a clean paper towel. And that's what it looks like. I'm not sure where to hold that. Actually, I'm going to try to see if I can put a little more coffee in there. Because that last mineral oil took some of this out and I didn't really want it to be so light. And I'm just going to rub this off this time. And there, that comes out a little bit darker now. So those, actually I cut this design in about 3 weeks ago, and so naturally the wood contracting and expanding probably shut those a little bit more than it would have if I would have just barely cut it tonight. And then what you do is take your spoon and you burnish it. You just go over this, all of it. What that is doing is closing up the fibers on the wood, so that this is a really critical piece. This is how we still have see the designs in the Scandinavian and the Viking articles and items from 1,000 years ago, is because they burnish this. They use bone oftentimes, and so that cuts that up, or shuts those up, closes the wood on those cuts so that you still see the cut, but that wood is now closed, so that's not going to slip out of there. That coffee and that mineral oil isn't going to slip out. So yeah, that's what you do, and it's kind of a fun project, and I hope that you enjoy these kits. And I've got some more, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have on it. The things that, you'll have to provide, sorry, I couldn't get the mineral oil. There is food grade mineral oil that you can purchase if you're going to use it on spoons, but you probably don't want to use this one with the scents. And I personally don't like the smell of coffee a whole lot, and so for my spoons and my bowls, wooden bowls that I burnished, I use that I've kolrosed cinnamon in there. I've never tried dark wood with a white powder, but I suppose that might even work as well.